Hello everyone, and welcome to this Learning TradeStation class. Today's topic is the TradeStation web and mobile. So in the next 60 minutes we're going to talk about the TradeStation website, how to access your TradeStation account on the web, and also how to use some of our mobile apps that we have made available to everyone here. These are our class objectives for today. We're going to explore the TradeStation Client Center to see what is available there. Also the TradeStation University, so you can find videos easily. And then we're going to jump over to our web trading application, which is launched using any web browser. Once we finish web trading, we're going to jump over to the mobile app and show you how you can also monitor orders and positions on the mobile app. I'm going to switch over here to my screen. But this is TradeStation.com. I'm using a Chrome browser, which I have installed right here on my Mac. And this is just the home page. You're going to notice that at the top of TradeStation.com, you have access to a menu. You click and you have different options. That's where you find the TradeStation University. Let's go ahead and talk about the university first. You're going to see that there's different banners that slide to the left-hand side over here. You can click on the little circles here to see what information is displayed. Here's a link to our Getting Started classes. Here's a link to some Bitcoin futures videos that we created. On the third one, we have a link to a page that helps you find what you're looking for. So let me go ahead and click here where it says Discover Now. And it loads this page that it's titled Find What You're Looking For. And it's divided in three sections here. We have the top section, which is want to learn how to use the TradeStation technology. And you find links to the Getting Started, the on-demand videos, learning TradeStation videos, which is this series that we're doing today. And we have a section for Trade Bites. And you can click here where it says See All Our TradeStation Technology Videos. Come here to this page. It'll give you some great links and access to some pages that'll help you find the information that you're looking for. If I click on See All the TradeStation Technology Videos, notice that it'll take me to this page, and I find a lot of the videos here, which I think it's very convenient. These are all technology videos that you can watch. All right, let me go back to the university. Ron is asking, are all TradeStation videos now on the university? How does YouTube fit into this scheme? Well, they're in both places. So if you like the YouTube experience, you can go to the YouTube TradeStation channel. You know, we upload videos on both sides. So if you want to go to the TradeStation YouTube channel, that's totally fine. The videos are going to be there as well. But on the university, they're also uploaded. So here in the university, if you scroll down a little bit, you have also a little bar here that allows you to search. I was trying to search just now, and I think I'm having issues with my browser. But you can enter words like, for example, radar screen, if you want to learn about radar screen, and hit enter. And this should filter and give you videos on radar screen. The same if you're looking for Getting Started, you can just type in Getting Started in there, and then you can search for Getting Started videos. Here on the right-hand side, you also have some tabs. Here we have Trading Technology. You can click here and do filters by checking the boxes of the category that applies to whatever topic you're looking for. And we also have a second tab here for trader education if you're looking for videos on specific asset classes, if you want to learn about futures, if you want to learn about options, the abilities there. Here at the top, you also have a login button. Let me go ahead and click on this other tab. When you go to the login, you have three options. You have the Client Center, Web Trading Live, and Web Trading Simulated. So the way that you access web trading is by going to this menu at the top of TradeStation.com. And this is from any browser. You can use Firefox, you can use Chrome, you can use Internet Explorer. Just go to TradeStation.com. At the top you have a login button that you can click on, and then you have the Client Center, Web Trading Live, and Web Trading Simulated. So if you want to access the web trading application, this is where you need to go. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Client Center. If you haven't been to the Client Center, there's a lot of great information there that is worth looking at. I'm going to go here to the Client Center, which I've already logged in, and this is the place where you get information about your account. Now you have a section here in the middle that has quick links. And from the Client Center, you can change your username and password. You can add, remove optional platform features. Someone was asking me yesterday, how do I add real-time data to my account? You just have to come here to the Client Center and click on that link that says add or remove optional data services. And then you can check what has been added to your account and other packages that you can turn on as well. We have a link to the Tax Center. You'll have the option to download your trading activity in different formats. You also have the ability to download your TradeStation activity directly into software packages like TurboTax. You have these two links here, the easy to borrow list and the threshold security list. This is some links that provide you a list of symbols that are easy to borrow, meaning that you can short them. And then you have a list of threshold securities which are not able to be shorted. So you can look at those lists. Those lists are updated on a daily basis. These are special margin requirements. Sometimes there are symbols that you trade, and if they have a different margin requirement, they'll be here. They'll be listed here as well. You can check here in this link in the Client Center. When you go to the Add, Remove Optional Data Services, you'll see what has been turned on in your account. And if you go to your platform, anything that has a capital D, like a capital D for delayed, inside parentheses next to the symbol, means that you're getting delayed data for that symbol. All right, let me go here to my web trading application. So I did say that at the top of TradeStation.com, you have a login button that when you click, it gives you the option to access your web trading application in a live account, which is the account where your funds are, and also a simulated environment. So the same functionality that you see on the desktop version, where you have to choose if you want to go to a simulated environment or a live account, you also have it here, but on separate links. So when I log into my web trading, this is what it looks like. I'm going to spend some time here showing you some of the functionality that's been built in. By default, web trading, I believe it shows up with a panel at the top, and we call this a panel, this box at the top, and then you have a panel at the bottom. But it does allow you to create or add additional tabs right here at the top. So if I click on this little piece of a tab next to the one that is currently active, it'll give me this drop down where I have to select what type of information I want displayed on that tab. If you want to change the layout of web trading, you can click on this button at the top. It's called the Layout Manager, and you can split your screen in more panels. You see, the one that is currently selected is the one that has a panel at the top and a panel at the bottom, but you can choose to split your screen in more panels. If I do this 4-panel layout, I click it, notice that it splits my screen in 4 different panels, and I can choose what application I want displayed on these other 2. But I'm going to go back to the one that I was on, which is a 2-panel layout, and I'll show you what things you can do here. I see a question in the chat about the desktop version being compatible on Mac. We don't have a version of TradeStation that is compatible with a Mac, so it doesn't run on a Mac environment. However, there are TradeStation users that have managed to install Windows on a Mac, and then you can run TradeStation on Windows on a Mac computer. But in order for you to run TradeStation on a Mac, you do need to install Windows on it. Here I have quotes, I have positions, and I have orders. And I believe that by default, when you go into web trading, these tabs are already open. But if you have them missing, for example, let's say, for example, that I close out orders, I can always add it back by clicking on this little tab and then clicking on what I want to see. In this case, I want to see orders. So I click on orders and it opens an orders tab for me. Let's go here and talk about quotes. In order for you to add symbols to a list, you have a symbol box at the top and you have a symbol box right here at the bottom. They both do the same thing. So if I click here at the bottom, I can add, let's say that I want to add Facebook, and I hit enter, and it adds Facebook to my screen. I can do it here at the top as well, TWTR, hit enter, and it adds Twitter right there at the bottom also. Okay, if you want to remove a symbol, for example, I see a futures symbol that does not belong here because this is a list of stocks. If I want to remove that, I just click on the X here on the far left, and it gets rid of that symbol. In the quotes, you have access to a limited number of columns that you can add. Here I have the regular quotes window, like the last traded price. You see the bid and ask information, volume, but I've added also a DMI. So in web trading, you have the ability to add some technical indicators similar to the feature that you find on the desktop version in Radar Screen. I talked about Radar Screen in one of my classes, and you're able to insert technical indicators such as RSI, average to range. This is a DMI. Now, the list of indicators that you find here in web trading is going to be limited compared to what you see on the desktop version. But how do you add more columns? You can click on the little plus here to the right, or you can click on the gear right here on the top right corner. So let me click on the plus here next to the column. It'll take me to this dialog that says Add Studies. You can go through the list of available indicators, for example, RSI, and I'll just add by clicking this arrow in the middle, and then just click OK. And you see that I have the DMI and I have the RSI here on the right-hand side. Let me go to the gear because I want to format the RSI. Let's say that you want to format the parameters that are used in the calculation of this RSI. Just click on the gear again. This is the list of indicators that you have available. Let me go ahead and remove the DMI. To remove an indicator, just click on the X from this window. And if you want to change the parameters of an indicator, just click on this caret on the right-hand side, and it'll open up another menu for you. And I can see the parameters of the RSI. I can say, give me a 7-bar RSI instead of a 14-bar. And then I just click OK. And that changes the calculation of the RSI values right there. As you can see, the functionality is very robust. You don't have all the bells and whistles that you find on the TradeStation desktop version, but it does allow you to look at different quotes, and it does allow you to monitor your orders and positions. We're going to go and show you also that you can create multiple lists of symbols. When you go to Radar Screen, you can have hundreds of symbols in Radar Screen. There's a limitation here on the web application, but when you reach that limitation of number of symbols that you can have on one list, you can create a new list. And that is unlimited. So you can have as many symbol lists as you need. I have 2 lists, so I can switch between them. I have a stocks list and I have a futures list. So if I click on futures, you can see that it loads my future symbols in here. I see a question in the chat about saving your settings. One thing that web trading does is that everything you do in the browser gets saved automatically. You don't have to manually save your settings because they're saved to the browser. When I exit out of web trading, everything will be saved, and when I log into web trading again, everything should be the way that I left it. One thing that you do have to keep in mind, though, is you have to keep on using the same browser. As I said earlier, the settings are saved to your browser, so if you switch, let's say, to Internet Explorer, when you started using Chrome, then you're going to lose all your settings. So something to keep in mind, okay? My quotes window here at the top is linked to this chart at the bottom. And I can create that link by clicking on this little box next to the word quotes. I believe that by default it's turned off, so you can see that it's kind of a gray box. But if I click it, I can turn it a specific color. And I can do the bottom tab on that same color. So when I click on the symbols here, it loads that symbol right there at the bottom. And every symbol that I click on is going to be loaded down here. In charting, let me go ahead and maximize this panel. If you look over here on the right-hand side, you have this button on the corner that allows you to enlarge the chart. And you can just click on the same button to bring it down. But I just want to maximize so that we can see more of it, because I want to show you some things here in charting. First of all, how to change the interval. Right here inside the tab, you have the 5-minute, but you have a little drop down that allows you to change it to anything you want. You can do daily. If you're looking for indicators, they're also available right here in the gear. So I can go to studies, click it, and then maybe I want a 2-line moving average, so I'll add it. And maybe I want to add volume average as well. I'm going to add it, then click OK, and those analysis techniques get added on my screen. The scroll bar, it's interesting because you can grab it from the middle and scroll left and right, or you can grab it from one of the sides and compress the chart as well. So if you grab one of the edges and drag them, you're changing the bar spacing on the chart, which I find very useful. Here we have a little divider when you have indicators under the chart, similar to what you see on the desktop version, allowing you to resize the panels. And you also have the ability to place trades from the chart. If I click and hold my mouse button on the background, notice that you get the data tips window similar to what you do on the desktop version, but this data tips has the buy and the short button, and it has an order bar button that'll take you directly to the order bar at the top of web trading. Let me go ahead and resize this panel to bring it down. And what I'm going to do is just go here to the trade bar at the top, and you can see the trade bar just drops down from the top. We have a standard order bar. We have an OCO, OSO order bar that you can also experiment with. For example, if I do an entry long with a bracket and I click this option, notice how my order bar changes to a more complex order. The types of orders that I showed you in Matrix are very easily done here as well, where you have the primary with this pink color, and then you have the two orders that they're tied together with a bracket, and you can set up your order this way as well. Let me go ahead and do a sample. So I'm going to just buy 500 shares of Microsoft. I'm going to do it as a market order. If Microsoft goes up to, where's the price for Microsoft is trading at 86.78. If Microsoft goes up to 88, I want to sell. And if it goes down to 85, I want to sell as well. So I have my stop and I have my target. When I click on send orders, this is my confirmation. I'm going to say send, and the orders go through. I have my orders queued here. They haven't gotten filled. But notice if I go to my orders tab, you have the ability to cancel the order by clicking on the X right here on the far left, or you have a CR that stands for cancel replace, allowing you to also click here and cancel replace an order. And let's try it one more time. I'm going to go to trade. I'm going to click on or type in Microsoft here in the symbol. And I just want to do a market order to buy 500 shares. Please give them to me. Okay, order was sent. You can see the confirmation down here. If I look at my orders, we have my Microsoft order here that got filled, and I got filled at $86.83. If I look at my chart, let me maximize my chart here. We can see that that information is also displayed here on the chart, and it's giving me a real-time value for my profit and loss. I'm losing $57 right now. Now let me open this up a little bit more. Because if I want to set a stop, let's say that we want to set a stop right here at 85, I can click the same way that I showed you earlier. I can click here, hold my mouse button, and I can say sell. It takes me to this confirmation, which says sell 500 at 84.99. I can send that order. The order sent, and you can see my line right here on the chart where I have my stop. If I want to move it up, I can just click on this red label and move it up by clicking and dragging. See, I just dragged it to 85.55, and it generates a cancel replace on that original order. So chart trading is great here in web trading. Similar functionality that you find on the desktop version. So let me go ahead and reduce the size of this tab and show you some additional tabs that are here. Let me open up the top one. If I go to the little piece of a tab, you have access to the matrix. This is what the matrix looks like. This is a new feature that was added. You can see that it's similar to the one on TradeStation. You have the current trading price right there in the middle, and then you have market depth. And by clicking on the blue or the red, you're able to manage your orders. If I go to something that I haven't traded yet, your Twitter's trading at $31. So if I click on any of these prices, it'll populate my order bar at the top with the information that I clicked on. All right. Let me close the order bar, close the matrix. If I go over here, you also have access to hot lists, functionality very similar to the one on the desktop version, and you have, your filters here as well. If you're interested in news, just click here on the tab, open up a news tab, and it gives you news articles based on the symbol that's over here at the top left. If I want news on Twitter, I just change the symbol, and the news articles will change for me. I can also open up an options tab. If I go to the option chain, I just type in a symbol right here. Let's do options for Microsoft. It's going to load strike prices for the upcoming expiration, which is, in this case, right up here in this drop-down is the weekly option, expiring February 9th. But if I go to the drop-down, I can just switch the expiration to something different. Let's say that I want to see the March monthlies. Right here, see the M in parentheses, that's for monthly, and it'll load the options here. If you want to look at verticals, click on the spread drop-down and select vertical from the option here. And to trade, you do the same thing that you do in OptionStation Pro. You click on the bid or the ask. So if I want to click on this particular combination of strike prices, I click on the asking price if I want to do a debit spread, and it sends the information to the top here of my web trading, allowing me to trade this vertical. You can see how the features of web trading are many. And I know some TradeStation users that would rather use web trading because it has a more simple look to it. Of course, you're missing out on all the features and all the bells and whistles that are part of the software version, but some people, some traders don't need all the tools that are available in TradeStation and like to have this simplified version of it. Let me go over here to my phone and show you how you can do a lot of the same things that we explained here. You can do them on your mobile device. Let me switch over here to my, okay, here's the TradeStation app. When you first log on, it's going to be a short list of symbols. I've added symbols here to my list. We have a mobile app for both iPhones, and we also have an app for an Android. So depending on what phone you're using, if you're using an iPhone, you have to go to the App Store and search for TradeStation Mobile. You'll find the app there. It's a free download, and you use the same username and password that you use on your computer. And if you are an Android user, you'd have to go to the Play Store, I think it's called. Yeah, the Play Store, and you search for TradeStation Mobile as well. One very interesting thing is that you can be connected on your mobile device, be connected on web trading, and also be connected on the desktop version. You can have all three connected at the same time. Here, with your same username and the same password, you can have all these apps open and connected simultaneously. So here in the quotes window, which is the default display when you go to the mobile app, you can add more symbols. How do you do that? Notice at the top there is a plus. I'm going to tap on plus. It gives me this box where I can type in a symbol. Let me go ahead and type in $INDU, which is the Dow Jones Industrial. You can see the search results. I can just tap from there, and it adds it at the bottom. You can see $INDU at the bottom. You can see the market is up 90 points as we're talking. Before starting the class, I was looking at the Dow, and it was down, over 300 points. It's rebounded again. It's been a crazy week. Once you have a list of symbols here, you can see that at the top right there's a pencil, or like an editing symbol. If I tap on that pencil, it'll allow me to remove symbols or change the order of them. So if I want to move my Dow Jones Industrial symbol to the top, I'm just going to tap. Let me see if I can bring my cursor here. I'm going to tap on this little symbol. I'm going to bring it up. Just like that. Once I'm done editing the list of symbols, I can just click or tap on that little pencil one more time, and then you're out of the edit mode. Now with your finger, you can also click and drag, I say click and drag, but it's tap and drag, the list of columns to the left-hand side. Or you can even switch your phone to horizontal mode. See, I just switched my phone to horizontal, and it gives you a little bit more space to go through the information. Let me go to vertical mode again. You also have a little gear. I'm not sure if you see it, but over here there's a gear that allows you to edit the columns that you can take a look at. So if I click on the little gear, then you can turn on or off columns from your quotes. Let me tap on done here at the top left. The main menu for the mobile app is right here at the top left, some sort of a hamburger menu. So I'm going to tap there, and it gives you access to the main menu of the app. So from here, you can switch to quotes. I'm just reading from the top. You can go to hot lists, orders, positions, balances, alerts. You have settings for the app. You can provide feedback to our engineers. And then you have a help button and a log out button. But let me go, the default view is going to be quotes. That's when you enter the app. That's when you're going to see the first time. But if I tap on hot lists, take a look. Very similar to the one you see in web trading. If you want to look at, if you notice here at the top, it says percent gainers 30 days. So I'm going to drop here and tap on, I just want to see the percent losers today. Where are the percent losers? Right here. I'm going to do percent losers 1 day. And you can see that at the top, we have this symbol CIVI giving you a, well, you can see the percent down is 21.96%. We have some volume lists. I'm going to tap on equities at the top, and then we have the volatility lists as well. And I'm going to cancel by tapping on cancel at the top right, and I'm back on my hot list. So let me go over here to the main menu again and go to my quotes, because I wanted to show you some charting. In order for me to see a chart, I just have to tap on a symbol from the quotes window. So let's say that I want to see a chart of Twitter. I see Twitter right there on the list of symbols, and I tap on the symbol itself, and it takes me to a chart. Now the chart is simple to use. You can use the pinch and zoom functionality that you use on mobile devices when you want to zoom in. So I'm just going to use my fingers to pinch and zoom in. You can see how it expands the chart. On web trading, we have that scroll bar at the bottom, but here we have no scroll bar. We use our fingers to pinch and zoom into the chart. This chart has some indicators that I already inserted, but if I want to remove and clean the chart from these indicators, you're going to see the labels of these indicators up here. You have the moving average 2 lines, and I have volume average right here at the bottom. So if I tap on volume average, it's going to give me the settings of the volume average, including the parameters if I want to change, the length, or if I want to delete the indicator altogether, I have that red button right there that says delete. I'm just going to tap on delete, and the indicator is removed from the chart. If you want to add indicators, similar to what you do in web trading, you have to tap on that gear at the top of the chart. Let me point to it. It's right here. You tap on the gear, and you have a similar menu to the one you find in web trading, where you can add studies, you can change the bar interval, you can view the pre-market and the post-market. So what I do recommend is for you to go into the app and experiment and play around with all these features. One thing that you can do on the chart as well is place a trade. If I tap on the background once, take a look. You can see the tooltips with a green button at the top that says trade at 28.37, which is exactly the price that I tapped on. You tap on the background again, and the tooltips goes away. But on this chart view, it's interesting that I have this series of buttons at the bottom. I believe that if you're using an Android, the buttons are going to be at the top. I can tap on summary right there at the bottom left, and it gives me a summary of Twitter. I can go to the news button at the bottom, which is the second tab, and I can see news articles for this symbol, which is Twitter. I was on the chart. We talked about the chart already. We have the matrix. If you want to see market depth for Twitter, and you can tap right here on the bid or the ask in order to place a trade. And then you have options too. I can tap on options to find an option chain for Twitter. At the top, you have a drop down for the spreads or single legs. And then you have the expirations right here at the top, and you can just use your finger to move left and right and find a different expiration. Let's say that I want the March 16th. I just tap on March 16th and it loads the options that expire on March 16th. Let's talk about trading a little bit. I want to go back to charting. Most of the views on the mobile app have a place for you to trade. On a chart, you can tap on the background. But notice that at the top right corner, let me point to it, right here at the top right, you have a trade button that I can tap on, and it generates an order bar for me for the symbol that was on the screen. In this case, if you see the symbol right there at the top, it's Twitter. This is a standard trade. You have your boxes to select the type of order, the quantity, the price that you want, and then you have those blue and red buttons to buy and sell short. Let's do a little bit of more complex orders. I'm just going to tap right here on the right-hand side. There's a button that says OCO OSO. I'm going to do an order sense order because I want my Twitter order. You see how it branches. In order for you to edit each one of these orders, you have to tap on them. So I'm going to tap on the top one and then change this to a market order. Or I can just change it to a limit order, and I want to buy this at 31.25. That's my price. I'm going to go back by tapping on advanced at the top, and I'm going to then tap on the second order because I want this to be my stop. So if it drops to 31, well, let's do 30.90. I go back to advanced, and then I send the orders by clicking on that green button at the bottom. Requesting the confirmation. I have my confirmation order in place. I send it, and the orders go through. Now, where do I go to find those orders? Well, I have them right here on the screen. I just need to go to a different interval chart. So let me see the intervals for the chart are right there at the bottom. I'm not sure if I pointed that out. I have a day, a D for day, W for week. So I can tap on those. Let's go to a 5-minute. And you can see my two orders right there on the chart. I have modified the different intervals are here at the bottom, and you can do that on your mobile app as well, depending on which ones you use the most. But if you want to see more, there's a little clock here that you can tap on that gives you different data intervals. If you want to move them around, use the pencil right there on that menu. If you want to add more, just tap on the plus sign, and it gives the ability to add more data intervals. But here on the chart, I see my orders. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. And what I can do now is I can move them around also here on the chart. So if I want to get filled right now, I can change my limit order, and I can drag it and move it up. So it generates the order bar again. I'm just going to replace the order. It goes back to my chart. There it is. I got filled, and I have my stop in place. And I can also use my finger to tap on that red label and move my stop up or down if I wanted to. So I can move it down by tapping on it and moving it. And I'm just going to say replace the order. And that's it. It's a very, very robust mobile app. So I do encourage everyone to take a look at it, install it on your phones, and start using it. If I want to change the symbol right here from this view, I don't have to go back to the quotes, but you do have a back button here at the top left. But I can just tap right here at the top. There is a little drop down that allows me to switch the symbol to something different. So if I want to see Apple, I just tap on Apple, and then Apple gets loaded in my app. If I tap on the main menu here, the hamburger menu at the top left, we can take a look at my positions. So it shows me a list of all the positions that I have in my account. You can look at the top right corner. There's a close all button. Very convenient. From the main menu, you also have access to alerts. Alerts is great. And let me talk a little bit about alerts, because the alerts that you set up in your mobile device are going to be server-based. So anything or any alert that you set up here in this window is going to be active on our side, and you don't have to have TradeStation open to get the notification. Now, what type of alerts can you create? Let me go ahead and tap on the plus sign, and I can say, let me enter the symbol here. Let's say I'm tracking the symbol for AT&T. I want to be notified if the last traded price of AT&T goes below $35. Okay, once I have the information that I want, at the top right corner, I can just tap on Create, and that creates. I'm I'm getting the alert. So I said greater than 35, and it's currently at 35. So I'm getting the alert here on the phone. I'm just going to dismiss that. I can go to my disabled and see my alert listed there. That's T. The very last one was triggered. I tap on it and I say change the directional here to less than or equal to 35. So I'm just going to tap on replace at the top. And now I have an active order or an active alert for AT&T, so that if it trades below 35, I get alerted. And you don't have to have the app open. You'll get the alert pushed through notifications. So I'm going to tap on done. And I do encourage everyone to give that a try. And one last thing that I wanted to also show you is the way that the phone is connected to the status of your orders. So if you're trading on your computer, on the TradeStation software, it's also a great idea to install the app on your phones. Because if you have any pending orders in the market and you want to be notified when they're filled, the phone does that for you. So let me go ahead and lock my phone for a moment. You can see that I'm on the lock screen right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my TradeStation platform. Actually, no, let me use web trading. So I'm going to switch over here to web trading for a moment. So we're back to web trading. And I'm going to go to my positions tab. These are my positions. And let me go ahead and get rid of my AT&T positions. From here, my positions list, I can click on the X here on the far left. It's going to generate a closing transaction. And I just want to click on send. I want you to see what happened here on my phone. So I'm going to switch to my phone screen and take a look. I get a notification telling me that I got filled on my selling transaction for the 500 shares of AT&T, and my fill price was $35.61. That's push notifications. Every time an order is filled, you're going to get those notifications to your phone. So I think it's very convenient to have your application installed, or the TradeStation mobile application installed on your phones, because you're going to get these notifications as well. Let me go back to my quotes. Remember that in order to see a chart, you have to tap on the symbol. So I'm going to tap on Walmart, and this is a chart of Walmart right here. You have drawing tools that I didn't talk about, but here, this button that looks like a little pen, when you tap on it, it gives you a drawing toolbar. And you can draw horizontal lines, trend lines, even Fibonacci retracement lines. Let me draw the Fibonacci retracement. And you can see the chart right there. Those are the Fibonacci retracement lines. If you want to remove a drawing tool, just tap it. And you can go to the gear. You see the gear right there. And delete it. And the same goes with the trend line. If I tap on the trend line, I can draw a trend line by just tapping the screen 2 times. Click on the gear, and I can change the style of the trend line or just plain delete it. All right, let me get rid of that drawing tool by tapping on the little pen at the top. And that's pretty much all the features that I wanted to show you. So whichever platform you're using, they're all going to be interconnected. If you trade on the desktop version, you can see that trade on web trading, and you can also see that trade on your mobile application. So this is the end of our class. I want to appreciate the time you all spent with me, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Bye-bye, everyone.